Welcome, everyone. We're diving into a really intriguing topic today. The way Christianity adopted and rebranded, to put it bluntly, many pagan elements from ancient Rome.
I'm really excited about this. So we're talking about how rituals we think are inherently Christian, like Christmas and Easter, actually have deep roots in Roman and even Germanic pagan traditions, right?
Exactly. It's like, imagine a cultural makeover. Rome, with its vibrant polytheistic traditions, was full of symbolism and grand festivals. And then, when Christianity started to spread, instead of erasing all that history, it adapted many of those customs for itself.
Yeah, that's fascinating. So it's not so much a replacement as it is a transformation, tailoring established traditions to fit a new narrative.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the key examples we look at is the transformation of Saturnalia into, well, Christmas. Saturnalia was this major, lively festival held from December 17 to 23 that celebrated Saturn, the god of time and harvest.
Right. I've read that during Saturnalia, people exchanged gifts, reversed social roles, and even decorated their homes with candles and greenery. That's a lot of overlap with our modern-day holiday customs.
Exactly, and it gets even more layered. You see, December 25th was also celebrated as the birthday of Sol Invictus, the unconquered sun god, established by Emperor Aurelian in 274 CE. Early Christian writers like Origen were actually skeptical about celebrating Jesus' birthday on that day.
So, in a way, the church was, strategically positioning itself by aligning Jesus' celebration with a widely popular festival, right?
Precisely. Under Pope Julius III in the mid-4th century, December 25th was officially set as Jesus' birthday. It was an ingenious move, a cultural hijack, if you will, redirecting the fervor and traditions of the Roman festival into a distinctly Christian event.
It's almost like they were saying, hey, if you already love this ritual, why not give it a new spiritual spin?
Exactly so. And then there's Easter, another great example. Easter, as we know it today, derives its name from Eostre, the Germanic fertility goddess celebrated around the spring equinox.
Wait, so you're saying that the very word Easter comes not from the New Testament, but from pagan roots?
Absolutely. Bede the Venerable, an English monk from the 8th century, noted that April was once called Eostre after this goddess. And yeah, those symbols we see, a decorated egg, a rabbit, were originally symbols of fertility and rebirth long before they were linked to the resurrection of Jesus.
Right. Wow, that's a real twist on what many of us take for granted about Easter. It certainly puts the holiday in a whole new light, doesn't it?
It does indeed. And it goes even deeper. Even the architecture and ritual elements of the church borrow from Roman traditions. For example, many church designs are reminiscent of Roman basilicas, not traditional Judaic structures.
So the altar, the incense, and even the chanting have roots in the grand mystery rites of ancient Rome?
That's right. Joseph Campbell once remarked on how early Christian rituals were like mirrors of pagan mystery rites. The church wisely integrated established design elements to make itself feel familiar and comforting to a Roman populace steeped in tradition.
But isn't there a risk in blending traditions like that? I mean, some might argue it dilutes the purity of Christian origin, as opposed to being a simple adoption.
That's a fair point to raise. However, if you think about it, it's like cultural evolution. Christianity didn't come out of a vacuum. It emerged in a society with deeply ingrained practices. By absorbing these traditions, Christianity not only made itself more accessible, but also ensured that its message would resonate more deeply with those who already cherished these customs.
I see what you mean. It's a clever form of adaptation, even if it might feel like a rebranding to some observers.
Exactly, and scholars like Bart Ehrman have emphasized that this absorption of Roman culture was actually central to Christianity's success. It was about making the new faith look less alien, more like home to the people of the Roman Empire.
Right, because in a crowded religious market, any advantage counts. So rather than trying to erase the old ways, which would have been practically impossible, Christianity baptized these traditions and, in a way, saved them.
Yes, and that in itself is a form of continuity and transformation. The idea that traditions are built layer by layer, much like the city of Rome itself, is quite compelling.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder about how we perceive tradition in general, whether it's about preserving something static or letting it evolve with time.
Exactly. It's a reminder that almost every tradition has layers of history behind it, often more diverse and unexpected than we might assume at first glance.
It's like every candle on a Christmas tree, every decorated egg at Easter carries thousands of years of cultural overlays and symbolism.
Right. It's like a historical collage. Imagine collecting stickers over time until you end up with a masterpiece. That's how these layered traditions work.
Mm-hmm. That analogy really brings it home. And what about church bells and other ritualistic elements? How do they fit in this picture?
Great question. Even the ringing of church bells and the ceremonial chants are echoes of pagan rites. The church basically used the aesthetics of Roman basilicas to create an atmosphere that resonated with the Roman soul.
Yeah, it's like they used an existing language of symbols and ceremonies, ensuring a smooth transition for a population steeped in, these very rituals.
Exactly. And in doing so, they not only preserved these cultural elements, but also reinvigorated them with new meaning tied to Christianity.
So, would you say that this rebranding was more about cultural pragmatism than theological dilution?
That's a perspective that's often debated. While some folks might contend it blurs the lines of pure theology, it's also a brilliant move to bridge communities. It's like understanding that our heritage is diverse and each layer adds
I
depth
can see
to the
that.
present.
It definitely challenges the notion of a monolithic religious history. I mean, seeing these pagan roots doesn't necessarily undermine the faith. It can actually enrich our understanding of its evolution.
Exactly. It's not about invalidating beliefs. It's about appreciating history and recognizing that cultures, like religions, are constantly evolving.
Right. That evolution means our rituals, our celebrations, are like living histories. Ancient, complex, and, well, beautifully hand-me-down through time.
Precisely. And it gives us a broader perspective on why these traditions are so resilient. They weren't manufactured overnight. They're the result of centuries of adaptation, absorption, and transformation.
Yeah, sure. There's also something almost poetic about this process. Like each era leaves its mark, and the final tapestry reveals a civilization's journey through time.
Absolutely. And that perspective makes religious practices feel more alive, dynamic rather than fixed in stone.
Mm-hmm. In the end, understanding these pagan roots can lead to a richer understanding of what we celebrate today and why these traditions continue to resonate with so many across the globe.